Oscar-winning actor Kevin Spacey says he's struggling financially right now since sexual assault allegations came to light. The accusations cost him his home, forcing him to stay in hotels and rentals. Now, although cleared of all those charges, Spacey lost acting jobs and has not returned to Hollywood.
Just 3 minutes ago, heartbreaking news has rocked Kevin Spacey's world. The acclaimed actor has just been found liable in a misconduct case, a ruling that threatens to pull the curtain on everything he's built. In a moment where every headline feels heavier than the last, Spacey now faces one of the biggest setbacks of his life. His reputation, his career, and his future in Hollywood all hang in the balance. Can he rise from this crushing blow, or is this the moment that changes everything forever? Stay with us as we break down the stunning details. The day the spotlight went dark. Kevin Spacey, previously known as a shining star and esteemed figure in the Hollywood film industry, experienced a meteoric ascent that led people to believe he was untouchable. He confidently navigated red carpets for years, posed for cameras with a smile, and received numerous prestigious accolades. Having secured multiple Oscars, garnered numerous award nominations, and earned the trust of directors and studios, he was known for delivering powerful and memorable performances. His on-screen charisma was powerful, captivating, and highly regarded by audiences and critics alike. However, the world that once celebrated his success also witnessed his rapid downfall. In the year 2017, things began to fall apart. The catalyst was when Anthony Rapp, a fellow actor, made a grave accusation regarding an incident from years past. His revelation sparked a wave of disclosures that had long been buried. Confidential industry gossip transformed into a public spectacle, as individuals came forward one by one to recount their own unsettling encounters with the actor. The information quickly circulated. Journalists covered every aspect. Online platforms erupted with outrage. Individuals from various countries witnessed how Kevin Spacey's reputation transformed from one of prestigious acting to a more ominous and disturbing association. The aftermath was swift and harsh. Long-term projects he had poured his energy into started to crumble. Films he had completed were altered, resulting in his parts being deleted or substituted. Assured roles vanished in an instant, and production companies distanced themselves from him. Even Netflix, a major player in the industry, decided to sever all ties after backing him for years with House of Cards. His prominent character was axed from the show's final season, bringing an end to a significant chapter in his career. It felt like a lengthy and prosperous voyage came to an abrupt halt with a single unexpected twist. Kevin Spacey's downfall was particularly shocking, as it demonstrated the speed with which public perception can shift indefinitely. Despite the accolades, recognition, and admiration he had amassed throughout his career, he was unable to shield himself from the repercussions of the accusations. The same industry that once revered him distanced itself, ultimately abandoning him in a place where he once commanded attention with certainty. Once synonymous with outstanding achievements and unwavering persona, his reputation now bears the weight of scandal. His image continues to be tarnished. The cloud of controversy looming over his professional life shows no signs of dissipating, leaving many opportunities out of reach. But was he guilty of these accusations? Or was he a victim? Stay with us. Kevin Spacey's legal battles. Kevin Spacey's legal battle was a highly publicized and emotionally intense period in his life. A solitary allegation snowballed into a lengthy ordeal that left a lasting impact on his reputation, professional trajectory, and public perception. While he pursued justice in the courtroom, the court of public opinion had already formed its own conclusions and recollections outside its walls. In 2022, Anthony Rapp's civil case reached a conclusion after a long wait. This case had been a significant factor in Kevin Spacey's decline from stardom in the past. The global spotlight on the trial reignited discussions and brought up old controversies surrounding the actor. During the court proceedings, disturbing information emerged, some of which had already influenced public perception well before the legal process began. However, despite numerous court hearings and widespread media attention, Kevin Spacey was ultimately cleared of the allegations made by Rapp by a federal jury. This legal triumph was the outcome he had been hoping for when the accusations first surfaced. Nevertheless, the exoneration did not erase the negative impact on his reputation, professional life, or the emotional burden he had been carrying. In the trial, Spacey made a bold decision that surprised many. He publicly renounced the apology he had given in October 2017. His earlier statement was made in the midst of the controversy, but in court, he admitted regret for apologizing. This instance highlighted the difficult and distressing nature of his experience. Over the years, he grappled with the dilemma of defending himself, yearning for empathy, and enduring public scrutiny. Despite winning in court, his reputation continued to be tarnished in Hollywood and beyond. The distinction between what is legally true and what the public believes became more apparent in the years that passed. Following the trial of Rapp, numerous people started sharing their own accounts. These individuals came from various sectors like theater, film, and earlier periods of his life. Every narrative contributed to the ongoing public discourse, ensuring that his name remained associated with scandal, despite his repeated claims of innocence and legal battles. In 2023, Kevin Spacey faced legal proceedings once again, this time in London. 4 former employees of the renowned Old Vic Theatre, where he served as artistic director, made allegations of misconduct against him. The trial extended for a month and garnered attention from media outlets worldwide. His entire history was scrutinized. Every deed and tale from the past was brought to light. The global audience eagerly awaited the final judgment. After the jury rendered their verdict, Spacey was found not guilty of all 7 counts. Additionally, one of the 4 accusers had initiated a civil lawsuit, but following the acquittal, the case was also resolved in his favor. These successes in court added to Spacey's previous win in a Nantucket case where he was also exonerated. Kevin Spacey had a series of victories in court, consistently avoiding liability or being found innocent in various cases. Over the years, some charges were dismissed due to reasons such as insufficient evidence, altered testimonies, legal restrictions, or the deaths of important individuals involved. As the trial in London concluded, he emerged victorious in every significant legal challenge he faced. However, his successes outside the legal system did not hold the same influence. He was left behind by Hollywood as the industry shifted its focus. The studios that used to vie for his attention no longer bothered to contact him. Filmmakers who previously admired his skills steered clear of involving him in their latest endeavors. Despite being cleared of any legal wrongdoing, he continued to carry a cloud of doubt, wariness, and concern over potential backlash from the public. There was hesitance from many on how to reintegrate him, uncertain of the audience's reaction. Writers and the media kept wondering if it was possible for someone to make a comeback after facing legal issues. They highlighted the fact that being cleared in court does not always eliminate the lasting negative effects of being publicly accused and constantly under media scrutiny. To many, the scandal itself was more memorable than the final judgment, and among those was the industry that formed him. And shockingly, it has always been rumored within the industry. Let's dive in. The loud judgment and the Hollywood storm. Well before Kevin Spacey's legal issues were publicly known, A subtle undercurrent of gossip circulated through the entertainment industry. This buzz could be heard on movie sets, in behind-the-scenes areas, and at exclusive events. Those who collaborated with him, including crew members, actors, and assistants, exchanged cautionary tales in hushed tones. While their words were guarded, the message was unmistakable. Certain individuals felt uneasy in his presence, while others had unsettling anecdotes that they shared discreetly. These murmurs, eventually known as whisper networks, served as a covert means of warning within the field. While not making a big splash in the media, they had a significant influence on the perceptions of those on the inside. Gradually, these hushed discussions evolved into lingering uncertainties that trailed him throughout his various endeavors, despite his increasing popularity. Over time, those quiet rumors started to become more widely known. Influential individuals like Denzel Washington and Rosie O'Donnell began to address publicly the rumors that had been circulating for a long time. Washington admitted to being aware of certain incidents, but believed he had no authority to intervene in matters that were outside his control. O'Donnell expressed stronger disapproval, expressing her anger and highlighting the fact that many people in the field were already familiar with the concerning behavior. Before any legal action became public, people within the Hollywood industry had already started to question Kevin Spacey's reputation, as revealed by their remarks. The worries about Spacey increased significantly when the Old Vic, a famous theater in London where he had been the artistic director for over a decade, started looking into the matter. The results of their investigation verified rumors that had been circulating for years. Various employees, actors, and interns shared their unsettling encounters, with 20 different allegations being made. Each claim detailed instances of discomfort or inappropriate conduct. The Old Vic's official findings strongly suggested that misconduct had been taking place in secret. His professional decline worsened due to these disclosures. Kevin Spacey was no more just a skilled actor accused of misconduct. He came to represent broader issues within Hollywood, including issues related to authority, secrecy, and the vulnerability of young individuals in the field. Despite his legal victories, the perception of him had already shifted. Trust from the public was shattered, and the harm to his reputation appeared irreparable. Hollywood wasted no time in responding to the widespread allegations. In order to shield themselves from negative public opinion, studios took swift action. Within a matter of days, projects fell apart. He was dropped from the last season of the popular political show that had made him a star for almost 10 years. The amount of episodes was cut down, and his character was written out of the storyline permanently. The show's production company introduced new measures in response to allegations of misconduct, including private hotlines, legal aid, and crisis support. These changes demonstrated the seriousness with which the industry was now addressing such misconduct issues. The company revealed that a complaint had been lodged years prior regarding a gesture and comment made by Spacey. Spacey underwent corrective training in response to the complaint, and no further complaints were reported through the company's system. However, when the allegations went public, the company severed all connections with Spacey. Spacey's highly awaited biographical film on Gore Vidal was ultimately scrapped. A prominent streaming service decided to sever ties with him, opting not to debut the film or collaborate with him further. He suffered another significant setback when he was removed from a prominent movie role portraying the affluent businessman J. Paul Getty. All the scenes he had already shot were deleted, and the character was refilmed with a new actor, Christopher Plummer, who expressed sympathy for the circumstances but acknowledged the necessity for a new beginning. Awards organizations and institutions also distanced themselves. A prestigious award that was supposed to be given to him by the International Academy of Television Arts and Sciences was revoked. His publicist of many years and talent agency terminated their relationships with him. His reputation, previously associated with quality, was now connected to scandal and prudence. After successfully resolving several legal battles, Kevin Spacey still found himself isolated and out of place. Despite being exonerated by the courts, the entertainment industry did not embrace his return. The majority of production companies stayed quiet, while numerous actors steered clear of discussing him. Filmmakers who previously commended his talent now proceeded with their projects without acknowledging his existence. It was evident that public perception had made up its mind independently of the judicial process. While wins in court may have cleared some allegations, they did not erase the lingering memories of years of speculation, cautions, and official inquiries. Despite legal victories, he was still mostly seen as the subject of those initial murmurs and sensational news stories. He faced a unique form of banishment, one determined by societal norms rather than a court ruling. His celebrity status was ineffective in abolishing it, and his skills could not protect him from its consequences. Even legal victories could not eliminate the repercussions of his exile. In Hollywood, his experience illustrates the significant impact reputation can have and how quickly it can shift. It demonstrates that even when legally vindicated, the public may find it difficult to move on from prior perceptions. Additionally, it highlights how rumors, initially dismissed, can eventually gain enough traction to impact someone's entire professional life. But the individual in question had some things to clarify. Stick around. Reflection. Kevin Spacey, formerly a highly regarded figure in Hollywood, is now taking time to contemplate his actions. He was once in the spotlight, lauded for his impressive acting, and praised worldwide. However, with his career in turmoil and his image clouded by scandal, he is now introspective, re-evaluating the decisions and beliefs that influenced his success and downfall. Spacey has occasionally acknowledged in moments of rare honesty that his experience of fame led to changes in him that were not immediately apparent. He has come to realize that achieving success can subtly alter a person's actions, particularly when things come effortlessly and adulation is constant. Looking back on his past, he feels a combination of remorse and understanding, recognizing that despite his efforts to be considerate, there were occasions when he displayed arrogance or irritability. These instances, which he previously dismissed, now serve as indications of a more profound issue that was intensified by his celebrity status. For many years, Spacey resided in a realm influenced by favoritism and recognition. He acted in acclaimed movies, headlined innovative series, and graced prestigious events where all attention was on him. His talent garnered admiration, and his mere existence demanded admiration. However, as he ascended the ladder of success, he became increasingly sheltered. Celebrity status constructed a barrier shielding him from negative feedback and concealing the aspects of his persona he wished to avoid. The sense of safety provided by this shield eventually turned into a hindrance. It enabled him to navigate through life without reflecting on his actions or considering others' emotions. While his decisions might have been scrutinized in regular circumstances, they were frequently disregarded or justified in the realm of fame. As a result, a perilous blend of self-assurance and a sense of privilege emerged over time. He now realizes that celebrity status amplified the impact of every choice he made, whether positive or negative, and molded a persona that he didn't fully understand until it was already too late. The effects of these decisions gradually and subtly expanded. They resembled fissures emerging beneath a smooth exterior, concealed, disregarded, and simple to brush aside. However, in due course, those fissures widened. The instant the initial public allegations surfaced, everything shifted. His once thriving and consistent profession crumbled nearly instantaneously. Praise diminished. Opportunities vanished. Esteem transformed into fury and letdown. Out of nowhere, the man who used to be the main focus in Hollywood was now under close public observation, facing severe reproach and engaging in lengthy legal disputes. Every lawsuit compelled him to address past recollections, choices, and incidents he had neglected before. The global audience was no longer cheering for him. They were observing carefully, assessing each aspect, and demanding responsibility. During this challenging time, Spacey's introspection began, leading him on a profound emotional voyage to contemplate his past, present, and future. Stripped of the spotlight of celebrity, he has been compelled to delve into his inner self, a practice he seldom engaged in previously while at the peak of his profession. He has come to realize that his position of privilege and power had a significant impact on how he engaged with others. The sense of superiority that came from being a well-regarded figure gradually morphed into behavior that could be seen as hurtful, demeaning, or dismissive towards others. He acknowledges that even unintentional actions of this nature can have long-lasting effects on those around him. This newfound awareness has prompted him to reevaluate not just his conduct, but also the values and patterns of behavior that have influenced him for a considerable period of time. Individual responsibility now plays a central role in his path. He has realized that being acquitted in a legal setting does not equate to regaining trust. Legal resolutions might bring closure, but they do not inherently mend emotional wounds, strained connections, or tarnished images. Genuine accountability involves facing one's own imperfections and acknowledging the potential hurt they have inflicted. Spacey is in the process of distancing himself from the realm of celebrity, gradually gaining insight into his true self beyond the glamour, adulation, and validation he once depended on. This journey is challenging, drawn out, and punctuated by intense emotions, yet essential for his personal growth. He might be trying to change, but the damage done was so much that it left him homeless. How? Let's find out. A life shaken to the core. Kevin Spacey's narrative has taken a tragic turn, revealing the unpredictable nature of life as fame wanes and repercussions escalate. Just a short while ago, he held significant power in the television industry, fetching close to $500,000 for each episode of a popular show where he once reigned with assurance and charisma. His reputation carried weight, his mere presence commanded admiration, and his triumphs afforded him a life of ease, surrounded by opulence and symbols of accomplishment. However, that world has now vanished. In its stead is a silent quest for stability, an existence punctuated by doubt, and a man grappling with the harsh truths of financial ruin and destitution. For over 10 years, he found solace and seclusion in his Baltimore residence. It served as his sanctuary after grueling days on the job, a place to store his cherished moments, and a refuge from the chaos of the entertainment industry. However, when his professional life took a nosedive and his earnings dwindled, the expenses continued to mount. He was unable to keep pace eventually. His beloved house was repossessed and sold at auction to settle long-standing debts. Witnessing the loss of his home was not just a financial setback, but the severing of his last ties to his former life. In recent years, he has been living a lifestyle that seems almost surreal when compared to the stability he used to have. Without a consistent source of income, no film projects in Hollywood, and legal costs eating away at his savings, he had to constantly switch from one temporary residence to another. Hotels, temporary rentals, and cramped accommodations in various cities have become his new dwellings. While these places provide a roof over his head, They do not offer comfort or a sense of belonging. The man who once resided in a lavish, permanent home now finds himself living out of suitcases, constantly on the move and facing uncertainty. Nearly all of his possessions, including furniture, clothing, mementos, accolades, and memories, are stored away. These containers house remnants of a past he cannot entirely abandon, but is unable to revisit. The items remain undisturbed, anticipating the moment when he might have a permanent home to unpack them once more. This serves as a touching and silent indication that even the belongings linked to his prior achievements exist in a state of uncertainty, mirroring his own predicament. During a popular interview, his vulnerability became even more apparent while he openly addressed the audience. Tears welled up in his eyes as he acknowledged that he had accumulated significant debt while fighting his legal battles. Revealing that his bank account was empty, he disclosed his transient living situation, constantly chasing after fleeting chances wherever they arose. Speaking softly but directly, he confessed that he was now without a place to call home. Many were stunned by the words they heard. It seems almost unimaginable that someone who was once at the peak of Hollywood could experience such a rapid downfall. His experience proves that fame does not shield anyone from the harsh realities of life. Money can vanish, properties can be seized, and chances can dry up. When public opinion changes, even the most renowned celebrities can encounter obstacles that seem insurmountable. His financial ruin goes beyond simply losing money. It also entails losing a sense of security, self-identity, and dignity. The burden of facing public scrutiny, perpetual legal disputes, and being shunned by the industry that once praised him all contributed to a challenging and emotionally draining existence. The support and admiration he once received from the world now seem out of reach, almost as if they were part of a distant and unattainable past. The silence enveloping his current circumstances adds another layer of gravity. Gone are the days of adoring crowds, offers from film studios, and glamorous red carpet events. Instead, he is left to navigate his mundane existence, trying to make ends meet and clinging to the possibility of rebuilding his shattered life in the future. Kevin Spacey's journey from fame to homelessness goes beyond financial issues. It serves as a reminder of the transient nature of success, the unpredictability of life, and the lasting impact of one's decisions. A hope that refuses to die. Despite enduring years of controversy, criticism, setbacks, and isolation, Kevin Spacey maintains a faint yet persistent flame within him. This inner light is delicate, unassuming, and frequently obscured by the burdens of his past experiences. Nonetheless, it endures. It represents a subtle confidence that perhaps one day he will regain the prominence he once enjoyed. Though his path forward is uncertain, fraught with uncertainties and profound inquiries, hope remains a quiet, reassuring presence in the backdrop of his existence. His financial problems are overwhelming. He has suffered damage to his reputation. His once thriving career now seems out of reach. However, he still has connections to a select few individuals in Hollywood who hold sway. These individuals, including directors, producers, and decision-makers, have the power to help him make a comeback with just a phone call. While they cannot change the past, they can provide him with new opportunities. Despite everything, Kevin Spacey remains hopeful for a second chance. Despite the sensational headlines, critical opinions, and ongoing legal disputes, a faint glimmer of hope remains. This flicker of hope stems from the recollection of the joy of performing, the thrill of artistic creation, being consumed by a role, and showcasing his skills to audiences worldwide. This spark also represents a yearning to make a comeback, despite the arduous journey ahead filled with unknowns. The perseverance fueled by this small flame of ambition and positivity prevents him from succumbing entirely to hopelessness. It serves as a constant reminder that individuals have overcome adversity in the past, and perhaps he can also emerge victorious from this challenging period. During an unusual interview, he candidly discussed the challenges of making a comeback. He emphasized that the decision to re-enter the spotlight is not up to him alone. It lies in the hands of influential figures who have the ability to reshape his career trajectory. If any of them extend a helping hand, the situation could change dramatically. However, he is aware that he should not force the issue, make demands, or anticipate immediate forgiveness. His future hinges on having patience, showing humility, and waiting for the right timing. Balancing hope with reality, he desires a return to the spotlight, but recognizes that trust must be gradually, gently, and cautiously rebuilt. To him, making a return is more than just landing a new acting gig. It is a chance to rediscover who he is. It is a journey to emerge from the dark cloud of controversy and seek a semblance of his previous life. The same world that used to praise him now observes hesitantly, unsure if he merits a second opportunity. People are wary. The entertainment industry is wary. Yet, he comprehends the reasons behind it all. Nonetheless, he clings to the glimmer of hope that reassures him that after every dark night, there is a dawn. Redemption is not a simple concept, as it involves being truthful, acknowledging previous errors, and undergoing genuine development. Kevin Spacey's attempt to re-enter the acting world is driven by his determination to prove his ability to transform, evolve, and reinvent himself. This process may be challenging, but it is essential for his growth. His every move is under scrutiny, and each decision he makes plays a role in rebuilding trust gradually. However, he continues to move forward on foot. He has begun to slowly re-enter the realm of creativity. He made a comeback in independent movies, taking on lesser roles and collaborating with European filmmakers. These characters were not flashy, but they held significance, demonstrating his dedication and desire to continue working, even in more discreet parts of the entertainment world. Unexpected sources have also shown their support. Some well-regarded actors and directors have spoken out in favor of giving him a second chance. Although their words did not eliminate the scandal, they did create a small opportunity, a slight opening in a barrier that once appeared insurmountable. They served as a reminder that, although repercussions are important, people are complex, and certain narratives warrant a second assessment. Recently, he made a comeback to performing on stage by putting on a small cabaret show in Cyprus. Although it wasn't a huge event or a high-profile return to Hollywood, it was a valuable opportunity for him to engage with an audience, sing, and share stories. This experience served as a reminder that there were still people who enjoyed watching him perform, cared about his music, and supported his artistic endeavors. Despite the modest size of the audience and the distance from his home, being on stage once again brought back a sense of fulfillment and belonging that he had longed for. His circumstances remain difficult. He continues to travel and work wherever he can, haunted by the memories of his past mistakes. However, he is still fueled by hope. This hope is not flashy or overwhelming, but rather quiet and persevering. It is a hope that acknowledges setbacks and pain. It is a hope that has endured hardships and yet still manages to muster the strength to face each new day. The journey ahead will be challenging. It will demand dedication, perseverance, accountability, and a readiness to confront all aspects of his history without making justifications. The possibility exists for Hollywood to welcome him back, or it may not. Society may choose to forgive, or it may not. However, as long as there is a flicker of hope within him, Kevin Spacey will continue forward, gradually, thoughtfully, devotedly. This silent optimism reveals a remarkable aspect of human resilience. Despite experiencing significant losses such as home, job, reputation, and comfort, there remains a motivation to persevere. There is still a cherished aspiration to cling to. A journey ahead, albeit challenging, is still possible, even in the midst of uncertainty. Kevin Spacey's tale is far from over. The upcoming sections are still up in the air. Despite being haunted by his past, there is a sense of optimism accompanying him. As long as there is a glimmer of hope, the opportunity for a fresh start is always present and waiting for the right time. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and also click the next video shown on your screen.